Hey guys, it is Sapphire Achilles from the Achilles Heel podcast, and I am here with two very lovely guests today. We did have another woman, but she had to work, so I guess this will be an opportunity for us to get two male perspectives with unbiased or any unbiased opinions. So let's start off with your name, your age, and your relationship status.
My name is Keyshawn. I'm 26. My relationship status is I'm working on something, and I'm praying that it works.
Okay.
Great answer. My name is Nico. I'm 24, and I'm single.
Okay. So the first question I kind of want to ask you guys is, how long do you guys think it should take for you guys to propose to a woman?
How long should it take? I feel like that's one of those things you can't really put like a time frame on it. I feel like you kind of just know. Like, I'm not married, so I wouldn't know, but I feel like that would be one of those things you more so feel. I mean, like, yeah, like I'm ready. She's the one. I'm not even looking at nothing else. I'm not thinking about nothing else. I can see the future. It's that time. I feel like I'll just feel it, you know? Yeah, so what's kind of your take on that, right?
I think that I agree with you. I think that some marriages have taken a few months and some have like a few years, but I think it all depends on your moral compass. I think it depends on how much you are willing to make it work, how much you're willing to put that work in and make sure that, hey, I know I didn't know you for all of your seasons, but I'm here for all of them now. You know, and I feel like it does make it difficult when people lie to you at first, right? And become deceptive and manipulative where they put on a facade for so long, and then once you guys are locked in, then it's like, now what do I do, you know? Mm-hmm. Especially when you have that covenant. Because for me, marriage is not contractual. Marriage is covenantal. So instead of me and my partner and the government making a deal that we're going to work together, it's going to be me, my partner, and God. Honestly, I think a lot of contractual marriages are like issued by the government for financial reasons and whatever the case may be. That's where a lot of people mess up, because that's when greed comes into place, that's when selfishness comes into place, and that's where a lot of men especially have a risk that nowadays they're not willing to take, because it's not covenantal anymore, it's contractual.
Yeah.
And I think that honestly would only be on a man, that I need to show that man, like, yeah, if it took him like a few years for him to be like, oh yeah, I want to marry you, like hella years, right, and I'm like trying to pick out my walker, then I'm be like, all right, maybe you're not the one, you know?
Right.
But a man, I've seen a man knows who he wants and what wife material looks like within like less than a week.
Of course, of course.
So, yeah.
Which is, so you said if it was hella years, right? Because I feel like there is a certain time frame when you're like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
What are we doing, right? So what do you feel like that time frame is? Like, what year does it hit to where you're like, okay, what am I doing here? Because I need to know who I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. When is enough for you?
You mean like the maximum time limit?
I would say the time where you feel like it's time to open up a conversation.
Oh,
like, what are we
like
doing
a
here?
month.
You said a month.
I think that we need to establish like what you want within the relationship. So I know if I am able to fit what you want and what you need. If you come to me saying like, oh, you know, I'm not really looking for a relationship right now. If I waited like a year or two for me to ask that question and you finally come up with that, like, I look stupid.
But I'm glad you said that, because I don't think a lot of women understand that. You said pretty much as like a man, we can it doesn't take us long to understand, like, or to talk to a girl and realize like, yeah, I see something in her. Right. I see something. I see a lot in her. Or I don't really see that much, but she cool.
Yeah.
Guys, like,
they know
quick. And that's like, I have like nieces and cousins and stuff like that. That's good. And I always try to tell them, like, it doesn't take long for a man to like know if he wants to deal with you or not.
Right.
So just understand by his actions what his plans are for you. And But that's one thing I don't think a lot of women understand. It's like they think that they can change somebody or something. It's like, no, he just chose his route with you,
Right.
pretty much. But
And I think that the one major problem in that has been chosen to show itself out, to fail consistently, is women thinking that they can do all of these things and show their value, but also make decisions that, in a man's eyes, lessen their value.
yeah,
And I feel like a lot of people nowadays do not understand the value and the weight of how much you portray yourself. People say, don't care what anybody else says, and, don't, do what you want, live your own life, don't care what nobody says and thinks. But you should. Your name is everything.
Yeah.
Your image is everything. And what you
100%.
choose to show people, like, you cannot, like, you cannot determine what other people think about you, but you definitely should not give them ammo to think and to validate their opinion.
exactly. Like he's one of my best friends. I care what he thinks about me because he has my best interest as a best friend.
Right.
So if he sees me doing something that I'm not supposed to do, and he says like, "Bro, don't do that," he knows that like the image is like, for the most, not the image isn't everything, but the image is first.
Right.
So if you're going somewhere loud, cussing, things of that nature, don't be mad when you're not invited back.
Right.
So it's more so like, it's just be accountable. And I forgot where I got it from, but I seen like a while ago, I seen where it said marry someone that you would want your daughter to grow up to be, and vice versa, marry a man that you would want your son to grow up to be. Or as far as yourself, if you wouldn't want your daughter doing it, you shouldn't do it. So if you wouldn't want your daughter walking around half naked, going to clubs every other night, having guys just like going crazy, I don't think you should like feel empowered if you wouldn't want your daughter doing that. And same thing like with the men. If you wouldn't want your son messing with a lot of girls or out here getting in trouble, things like that, you shouldn't do that. So I just feel like it's common sense, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that common sense is not that common now.
Yeah.
It's not that common.
What do you guys think about the man asking the father for her hand in marriage? You think that should still be a thing?
I do. Only
Yeah.
if I don't necessarily say like if that's what she wants, but I feel like out of respect, like if her father's present, like if they have a relationship and things like that, I feel like you should.
Yeah, out of respect as well. I feel like that father, of course, you want him to be on the same page as you, and I feel like he would just put you in a different light. The fact that you even took the courage to like come to him and say that to him, it just shows how you feel about him and how much his daughter actually means to you, that you went out of your way to do that. So I think, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's a win on both sides.
Yeah, it is. Definitely brownie points.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people would do that.
No.
Yeah, little things matter though.
Losing recipes.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
What are your top 3 deal breakers? Or just your top deal breakers in general?
Oh, you want to go first?
Hold on. So deal breakers in the sense of
Like make or break.
like
Like, all right, yeah.
I
you're
don't see a
done.
future with you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Being promiscuous, I would say lying and probably respect. I should have said respect first, but respect.
Okay.
That's a good one. Big on respect. I would say trust. Like if we don't trust each other, there's really not much else to talk about, if I'm being honest. Because there's no longer any type of peace of mind going on for either of us. So trust. For a third one,
That's what I meant too when I said lying. Because like once you lie to me, I'm going to question everything to the point to where you're probably going to want to get away from me. So
You 100%. And I think, a third one, a deal breaker. I would say whether or not we complement each other. I mean, we should both be coming from a spot where I could do without you, but I'm better with you.
Yeah.
She can do without me, but she's better when I'm with her. You know, things like that. So I think that's a big one. I feel like we need to be able to actually complement each other in whatever path we're on.
So, asking from a woman's perspective, right, to men, what are the things that a woman can do that will help complement you and what you have going on in your journeys?
I would say a lot of men that actually, like, the ones that's out here actually putting in the work, a lot of it goes, to us, it goes unnoticed. So it's more so like, you don't really have to, like, oh babe, I seen you cut the grass, I love you so much. It's not like that. But more so like, if I come home and you could tell I had a long day at work, like, instead of like bombarding me with so much like, oh, don't forget about this, did you do this, da 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 da. If you can tell that I'm like, I had a long day, just come lay beside me. We don't have to talk, we don't have to just lay here. Like, just be my peace, just like for the day. But it also goes to like, each individual is different. So figure out that, like, that peace for your man and just be that peace. Most men they're not going to say it, but just a normal conversation. It's like, we're always checking on you. Like, how was your day? How do you feel? Do you need anything? You want me to stop before I come home? You hungry? Stuff like that. Just like every once in a while, just spin it back on him. Like, I just want to let you know I love you. You do a lot. I'm here for you. Like, I know I might don't say it a lot, but I just want you to know, like, I see everything you're doing. It doesn't go unnoticed. Something like that will make a man, like, take it from here to here.
Really? I feel like that's bare minimum, though. Like, just showing, like, hey,
But as a man, it might be it is the bare minimum, but it's sad to say we're kind of like, I don't want to say we're used to it, but it's like we don't get pat on the back for doing like what you're supposed to do. Which I don't feel no way about that. If you're doing what you're supposed to do as a man, I don't necessarily think you should be rewarded because that's what you should be doing, but just acknowledging it. I seen a video not too long ago, and it's true because I still do it, but I used to do it a lot. I used to pull up to the house from getting off of work all day and just sit in the car for like, just losing time for hours, and then I would walk in the house. But I feel like...
And this was when you're in a relationship or with family?
To be honest, both.
Okay.
But speaking on like relationship-wise, I feel like if it was more of like a... And this is just because, like I said, I seen a video, so I feel like a lot of men do this. And I have a couple people in my family that if I pull up to their house, they're just sitting outside. And I'm like, you good? I've been chilling out here. And it's like, is everything good? They're like, no, I'm good. I'm just chilling before I go in the house. But it's like, I feel like if more women were to like let that message be known, just every once in a while, like when you come home today, I got something special for you. You might, it could be anything, but just acknowledging that his hard work, if he's the one for you, his hard work, that will make a man like go hard, like hard.
100%. Appreciation, I think, is the word that you're looking for.
That's exactly the word I'm looking for.
I think that's the word, appreciation. Because honestly, like you said, going out here, doing what we got to do, working, bringing home the money, bringing home whatever we got to do, take care of, put out fires left and right. That's kind of our job, right? That's what we should be doing. Like, you don't get a round of applause for doing things you're supposed to do. But then every now and again, when you feel that sense of appreciation, especially from your woman, it hits different.
The last job that I worked, it was a lot of men that was like overtime. And I promise you, I started, because I was doing overtime too, but I started asking, but these guys were married, they were older than me. You got a wife and kids at home, like, why do you like want to be out here so long, like every day? It was literally the same answer for like majority of the people. They were like, not necessarily that it's worse at home, but it's like, I'll stay out here as long as possible.
Dang.
And it's like, well, how long have you been married? 30 years, 15 years. It's a poker face.
So speaking on that, right? As a woman, how do you feel about those type of situations when you have a man that's basically a workaholic? He's always out working, always trying to build whatever he's building, or if it is just work. Like how does that make you feel? How do you kind of find that balance if there is one to be found?
A lot of men will continue to stay in an unhappy marriage just because he made that commitment to you. Like once he put that ring on, like that he gave up his right to just thinking about himself. He's now thinking for two people. However, I think a relationship will always be successful if they try to outplease one another.
Oh my God.
So if you come home and you do like, you know, just you working hard, you a hard working man, whatever the case may be, right? I think too many times people are in relationship with people they don't really like.
Yeah.
And I think people have gone into too many relationships with people that they've first gone into that commitment because of selfish reasons or because of reasons that are not directed toward their children, are not directed toward their family, and not directed toward a vision that they can share together. And a lot of women they don't understand that once you are married, you are under now the vision of the man. You don't have your separate vision. You are under his umbrella as he is under God's. But the problem with a lot of the relationships now is people will say that they know God, but they don't follow him. They don't follow the rules that come with it. People have so much free time on their hands that they don't admit. I don't care how busy you are. If you could just write a handwritten note, just 1 or 2 sentences, and put a sticky note on the front door so when he walks home, he sees that note. How long does that take?
Little things.
Yeah.
How long does that
things.
take?
But that goes back to when you just was like try to outplease each other. Something like that will make a man like he's already going hard. It's pretty much like from a man's standpoint. Once did we see you're actually like, okay, she's actually like, I don't want to say trying, but it's like you're 100%. You're 100% in this.
Right.
I'm going to double that. Right. That's how men think. It's like, oh, that's how you coming? Watch this.
Right. But women don't understand that because in society they're raised to just take. But they don't understand the importance of giving, because once you give the right man like the tools he needs, but then exceeds that with appreciation, with love, with caring, with all of that, they don't understand that there are so little women that do that out here, that once you even show a little bit more than the average person, a man is going to be like, yo, like, what you on? Like,
it's a superpower. It's literally a superpower.
100%.
It's a superpower.
You would turn that man into Superman himself. You don't have to take nothing because he's gonna give you anything you could ever desire.
It's crazy because it's like at the point now that like I have a lot of brothers and just family in general, but even talking to a lot of men, it's like coming across that now. I don't want to say gives you the chills, but it's kind of like it makes you kind of second guess. Like, is this like?
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's just like it's really crazy. It's like, is this really like? It's like you don't want to believe it because it's like, I don't want to say let your guard down, but it's like, you don't want to be all in just for it not to work. But
shit's scary.
Yeah, it's definitely
it's terrifying.
Especially for a man that's humbly, me and him, we bust our tail like working, trying to like be successful. Men like that, it's hard, like to come across, like to really like be 100%. It's really hard because it's like I do not want to mess this up. Like I'm doing a lot to try to get myself in position, and it's like, do I take this leap of faith, or do I just still like chip away at it and try to? But then you can mess around and lose one. You lose a like the one that you need, the one that you want, the woman of your dreams. You can still lose her trying to walk on eggshells, but it's scary. It's definitely scary.
Do you guys think that you've ever come across that type of woman before and then lost her?
Yeah, definitely have.
Yeah,
I just feel like I wasn't ready for it though. feel like I wasn't ready for emotionally, mentally, financially. I wasn't ready.
Was she in love with you?
If I was a betting man, I would put all my chips on yes. All my chips on yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the same with me. I probably could have got it to work but the situation I was in at that time, I was like, pretty much she deserves better. So before I need to work on myself and put myself in a better position before I try to do that. But yeah, that definitely happened.
Wait, so both of you said like you weren't in a good enough position. Do you guys think that there is a certain bar that men have to be at to maintain
Yes.
that kind of woman?
Yes, and I really think the younger woman need to like keep that in like the forefront. Like that needs to be like big, bold, like right on your forehead. Like these young women need to like, not even young women, older women too, just women in general, but specifically like our generation, the younger people. If you're gonna mess with, like, make sure that they're doing something. Don't just, oh, he's cute, oh, he's strong, oh, he's popular, or he's this, that, and the third. It's like, what is he doing that 5 years from now, where would you be? So it's more so like that.
100%. And I think what he's getting at is find a purpose-driven man.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these niggas don't have purpose.
Okay.
They really don't have purpose. They're not like, what do you stand for? Who are you fighting for? What are you fighting for?
What do you
Like,
believe in? Like, it's just
do you believe in what you're doing? You can say whatever you want. But you know,
actions speak louder than words.
they speak louder. And the same thing, we've been talking about how women aren't doing this, or they come home and nagging about this, that, and the third. Sometimes that's not even her fault. Sometimes it's really the man's fault.
Yeah.
In my eyes, I feel like everything is our fault to a T.
That's how I look at it.
Everything
too.
is our fault. If she's acting like this, you're probably giving her a reason to act like that. If this is really who she is, then it's your fault because you still with her. Pick one. Either way, it's your fault. But if you're not the man that's worthy of her doing the sticky note, cooking you dinner, making sure the house is clean, everything is held down, you got kids good, taking care of little things that you might need on the fly. If she's not doing that, then you're probably not the man worthy of that. Because if you were, I mean, I'll be honest, the pool ain't that big right now. So she got it,
Kiddie
and
pool.
she sees it. If
Kiddie
she sees
pool.
the value, she's gonna do what she needs to do in order to keep that. Same way, if you a man, you got a really great woman, you're gonna do what you gotta do to make sure you hold down this woman.
But that's why I say, like, generally speaking, I think it should at least be like 3 years before you pop that question, because like he said, are you compatible, things like that. Like, I feel like if you're in a relationship with someone, you never stop learning each other. So it's more so like you'll kind of learn, like, okay, I gotta love her this way, and she'll kind of learn, okay, I gotta love him this way, or I gotta do this, do that. I feel like if you kind of like feed off of each other and keep like just getting better every day with one, then it'll go a long way. But I wouldn't even say women, a lot of people, because men too, these days they go into relationships with a one-track mind. Like, you're not open-minded.
What
It's like,
can you
okay,
give me?
yeah, it's like,
Yeah. That's why I hate the question, like, when everybody just comes to you, sits you down, be like, okay, what do you bring to the table?
Like,
Like,
to me, it's a dumb question.
I hate that question.
It's just a dumb question.
I hate
right?
that question.
Yeah. Like, get to know me for a week, and then you can decide for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get to know them, and then you figure out for yourself what do they
Yeah.
really bring to the table.
Because everyone's table is different.
Yeah.
He said, "What are you looking for?"
Exactly.
Like, I can say anything I want, but what are you looking
Yeah.
for? You're not gonna know till you
She
meet
could
them.
say, oh, I work 3-4 jobs, I bring money to the table. That's might not what I need for my table.
I don't even want that
I don't want that. So
at all.
At all.
So
Like, no, man, for sure.
So you just gotta, the person you're dealing with, you gotta realize what they need at their table, and figure out from there if you're capable of doing it, if you want to do it.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of things hit the fan. I feel like if I I point it to like one thing, I would say it's complacency. which goes hand in hand with kind of entitlement, I think I want to say, because I live by like everything is rented, right? Everything is rented. You got to pay your dues no matter what it is. You got to keep contributing towards it or it's going to die.
Yep.
You stop watering the plant, it's going to die. You can be in perfect shape. You stop going to the gym, you're going to lose it all. You have a great man, a great woman, but if you don't continuously pour into them, you're going to lose them.
Of course.
So I feel like that's a big thing. If people came into relationships with a mindset that we got to keep building each other over long term, like it doesn't stop.
It's crazy you said that. I was at work earlier today, and we were doing a job for an older couple. They were probably like in their 70s. They've been married for 56 years, they said. I asked the man, I was like, what would you say, like, kept you guys married this long? And he literally was like, pick the person that you want to go to life with, but understand you got to, like, forgive. Not saying, like, certain things are, like, over the top, but he was like, you got to, like, learn that person and really, like, understand, like, nobody's perfect. And nobody's you. So you got to kind of, like, work on forgiving, because there's a lot of forgiving, and that's one thing that our generation doesn't, like, understand. Like, our grandparents and, like, the older generation that got married younger and been married for a long time, it wasn't peaches and cream for the whole 50 years, 60 years, 40 years, how long they've been married. It's like you gotta, if you really want to be with that person, it's a lot of hard times, but the great times outshine. Like it's worth it. And he pretty much was like, you just gotta, if you really want her, show her pretty much. And she pretty much said the same thing. She was like, it's a lot of forgiveness. You gotta forgive. You gotta forgive, because arguments, you might think this person is doing that and they're not, but it's pretty much like you said, it's not nothing over the top, like cheating and all that. That's another, like, that's different. But like little petty arguments and stuff, like there's people breaking up now because
they feel like it.
You spilled milk and I'm having a bad day, so I'm taking all my stuff and leaving.
Right.
It's like it's like.
Yeah.
But what would you say as far as, like, from a woman's perspective, like, or how would you carry it as far as, like, if you had a man and he pretty much what he asked you is like he's working a lot, but he explains to you, like, I'm doing this because in 10 years I don't think you realize the vision I have. In 10 years, like, I don't want you working. Would you be okay with that, or would you more so be like, well, you don't have to work that much, come spend time with me?
Well, I think that,
not that he's not spending time with you, but it's like,
yeah, but I feel like you would have to take yourself out of that temporary, and also use the mic a little bit closer.
Oh, gotcha.
I think I would have to take myself out of that temporary mindset and be like, okay, what's the long goal of this? Like, what's the long-term vision? Maybe we could sacrifice these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years for the next 40, 50 years of peace. Like, that's living the life. And people don't understand that you got to put the work in somewhere. It's not going to come free. I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they live in an industry where they can do something as simple but so chaotic as putting a picture online and getting, like, money from that and saying, you know, I'm working hard.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't shut the up. I don't know. I think that understanding that a man's hard work is sometimes how he loves. I think that that's very, very, very important.
I'm glad you just said
That's
that.
a bar.
That's a bar. You caught it too?
Bar.
I'm glad you just said that.
Definitely tweeting that later. Sometimes a man's work is how he loves.
Yeah, but I'll definitely say to piggyback off of that, again, I am under his vision once we decide to work together. I will say this, though. Whenever I am focusing on quote-unquote myself, I'm not outside. I'm not partying. I'm not hanging out with friends. I'm making sure that whatever I do goes to assets and not liabilities. I make sure I'm doing the podcast. I make sure I'm doing barbershop or IT cybersecurity or this or that, where it collects money effectively and consistently, so that when I do meet the man that I'm willing to, come together with, I can now say, we are under your vision and your dream. This is what I built so far. I'm giving it to you. Mm-hmm. And I think that is very important, because a lot of women say, oh, just my money is my money and your money is our money. I completely disagree with that, because what appreciation are you showing? Oh, I'm the table. Just because you're on all fours does not make you the table. Like, it is a lot of things that kind of go into it, that it kind of like, I don't think women understand that once you put that ring on and declare like a covenant with you and your husband, that's everything. Like, he is your rock. He is your foundation. And you need to make sure that, you trust him fully for that. And a lot of people will say, you got to be careful. You got to understand that, not every person is perfect. I understand that, but every relationship has a risk. And if I'm going to go into a marriage and say, you know what, it might not work out, so I'm going to keep everything and I'm not going to give you my 100%, that's a failed marriage already.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. Oh, I have one more question for you. It's about friends. What's your take on friends? Like, if you had a man, say you had a friend for like 5 years, you end up talking to a guy, you end up dating him for a year, and he ends up like telling you like, I don't like you being friends with her, and you ask him why, and he explains, and everything makes perfect sense.
Okay, she outside. She's a bad influence.
Or it's just right.
She's trying to be a council member for our relationship.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Whatever he explains to you is like, well, you're not. Even though she's my friend, you are telling the truth. Mm-hmm. Like, from a woman's perspective, how is that hard, or is that like? I don't know. It just seems like it's a lot of.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
I see a lot of women, or younger women, that's like, even older women now, like I see a lot of divorces and things like that, because it's like, well, my friends, he didn't like my friend. Well, I wanted to have fun. I wanted to.
Keyshawn, birds of a feather flock together.
Thank you.
I hope this podcast blows up. This needs to be a movement. I hope this whole thing blows up.
No, but for real, like, from a woman's, if you're asking me from my perspective, I can only talk for myself and say I don't have those friends when I'm single. So why would I have them when I'm in a relationship? You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, yeah.
I have very, very selective friends. My bridesmaids are gonna be like 3-4 women, because those women I know will hold me accountable. Those women are not going to take my side all the time when I tell them about, even though I don't think you should be telling your business to everyone. I think that those certain things, when you do need a second or third opinion, just to make sure you're not tripping and stuff like that, I think those people need to really take the side of the other person, because they don't understand that holds weight. And if you have always like somebody trying to talk to you about, you just leave him, like, you should take the fall with somebody else and da-da-da-da-da, like, that's not somebody you want to be in your circle. That's not somebody that really cares about you as a person.
It's not healthy.
Yeah, it's not. Mm-hmm. And I feel like too many women don't understand the weight that holds. So, yeah.
I just see it a lot. And especially like going out and things and stuff, it's like you'll be surprised by how many girls that have a man at home. It's like they're at the forefront in all the clubs trying to do everything. It's like, well, you're not even the single one, and you're the one.
The loudest.
Doing
the most.
The loudest.
But that's attention seeking.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. It's a lot of women out here that's attention seeking that has a man.
Damn.
And it's just...
A lot.
Y'all look like y'all going through it.
We're not going through it. We just see it. And when you see it, you like naturally have that fear. Like, yo, what does he think she's doing right now? How does he think she's acting right now?
It's crazy. It's really crazy right now. Yeah. It's really crazy.
It's the attention. You're definitely right though. I think it's definitely about the attention. I think that's why it's so hard for people right now to really invest into one person. because you are one story post away from all the attention that you want. So I'm like, okay, it's a great thing, but not always. Because like you said, sometimes it's going to be the ups and the downs in marriage is a very long time. So it's going to be times where you guys are on a rough patch. Yeah. But then girls you always know when they're on a rough patch because that's when the stories pop up all day, every day. now you at the beach.
They'll put you in the close friends. It's like, oh, I haven't been here before.
You say, what am I doing here?
A week later, you're out of the close friends. They're back on good terms. It's
like they're calling in subs at will.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
It's like a girl won't post for like 4 months and then just out of nowhere a week straight bikini pictures, a bottle.
I'm in Miami.
Smoking. I'm in Miami. She's back with her old clique. It's like she's single. But then you can speak on this, but I don't think you can speak on it, but you just don't have the mind that you don't have I call it bird brain. You don't have a bird brain. You're actually like very smart, very intelligent, like very like aware.
Thank you.
A lot of these women are less like. I'm not going to say that this is the problem you can attest to this, but this is the problem that I have. It's a lot of things that's going on and people are acting like they don't know, but you really know. Like a lot of the women and men that's out here doing, like I was talking to one of my cousins, she's a girl, and I was trying to get her to like, long story short, she pretty much was saying like, oh, she was talking about a certain guy. He wasn't raised that way. And it's like, okay, so he wasn't raised that way, but we're 26.
Right.
So it's like, so he's 26 and doesn't know how to treat a woman.
Right.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
For you to even, okay,
yeah.
I'll let you deal with that then. Because I know a lot of people that's great in relationships right now that did not grow up seeing great relationships. It's like you get to a certain point, you know wrong from right. It's not that hard.
You gotta be accountable.
So back, Keyshawn, right? I have a question.
I have an answer.
Big question, right?
Bigger answer.
Let's say you meet a woman and you feel like she's the one, right? She checks all the boxes, everything you could ever ask for, right? From looks to spirituality to you just get all the great vibes from her, right? But let's say you took her out a couple dates, everything's smooth, everything's good. But then at this time, you go out with her and her friends. Say she got 3 or 4 friends, right?
Okay.
Finally meeting her friends. And they're the opposite of her. The complete opposite. They are the toxic, go outside. You see how they dress. You see more skin than clothes. Mm-mm. They just like walking red flags, all of them. Mm-mm. Just run around the bar, red flags. So how you once felt about this woman, you thought she was everything top to bottom. Does your opinion of her change and how you see her, does that change?
Yes, I would more so sit back and think like, how long can she keep this act up? Because this isn't her. But even if she is like that, like if she honestly is a good girl, just in a bad crowd, I don't feel like your ceiling is like too high anyway. Mm-hmm. And your floor is probably very low.
100%. Yeah, bro, because like you said earlier, birds of a feather flock together, right? So hanging around the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut.
Snip.
You're going to get a haircut.
That's terrible.
So, yeah, I mean, definitely like that take. I feel like, how long can you keep this up? Because even if she was the odd one out, right? Let's say she actually is that genuine woman that you're looking to kind of see a future with, right? Mm-hmm. Just the odds of that being true, I feel like are just super low. The odds of her not being like a friend are just so low. I don't know if that's worth the risk.
It's not worth the risk.
You know,
and that's what I was saying earlier when I was like, when we do come across a good girl, it's just like, it makes you like scared. It's like,
the hell yeah.
It's like, is this real? It's like, I know it's somebody in her phone, a friend, something like that's like, it's hard to put in words. It's more so just a feeling. It's like,
who sent you? What
You're
you
right.
doing here?
yeah.
It's a damn setup.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's because pretty much like you said, to actually invest yourself into someone is terrifying.
So, questions to that though.
Okay.
As terrifying as it may be, what do you guys think about putting your efforts into somebody the second time you see them? Because first impressions mean a lot too. And if you hold back all the time, it's like, all right,
I
what do
feel
you guys
like-
think?
So you're asking like,
It doesn't have to cost any money.
I think I know. So you're pretty much asking like from a man's standpoint.
Yeah, because a lot of people will hold back because of that fear. And will be like, I'm gonna wait to see what she does, how much she likes me first. But a man's a pursuer naturally, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, and this is for both of us. He can give his own answer too, but I've seen him do this. We're both gentlemen, and it's not a lot of respectable like with manners and things like to that nature. When it comes to me, even when I am holding back, I don't think most girls realize that because of the gestures. Like, you're not going to touch a door. I'm going to respect you. Like, I'm going to ask you throughout the day or the date, whatever we're doing. Are you having fun? Is anything that you want to do? Like, it's pretty much like I'm respecting you to the point to where it's like, I don't want to say the ball's in your court, but it's like when we leave here, you're gonna be thinking about me.
The ball is for you to drop, I think is what he's saying.
Yeah. It's just like my gestures. I'm just like the way they might hear me talk to somebody. There might be some older ladies trying to cross the street. Like, I do this, like, this is the type of things I do every day. But when people start to see it, then it's like, oh, he's genuinely, like, he's not, I don't want to say like the rest, but it's just not, just people in general, it's not a lot of good people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like that's, I don't even know. Would you call that effort, or that's just how it should be? To be honest,
That's how I look at it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it should be that way, and it's sad that it's not anymore. Once you get past the gestures and things like that, then you'll really go hard for somebody. Like if it's that long, but from like if you're messing with a girl or going on a date or something, like for the first or second time, even though I might not come straight out and tell you like, oh, I really like you. It's more so like my actions that show it. It's like, I'll pay for the bill. You can get whatever you want. Like you said, it's not even money though. It's just more so like just the way I'm treated. It's more so energy. That's what I'm looking for. It's like an energy, like an aura. Like, I'm going to make sure that you feel, I'm going to do the best that I can to, when you come around me, you'll probably get butterflies. It's like, I'm nervous because he's not like the other ones. So it's mostly like I like him, but I get nervous around him, so it makes you still want to, like, okay, let me not do this because I don't want him to, or let me not do that because I don't want him to, or let me work on this because I like him, and this is the reason why my last relationship didn't work. So, but men do that too, though. You get out of a relationship and kind of like, okay, when I go into the next one, I kind of
Want to be reserved.
Yeah, it's like I kind of need to improve or just take accountability in whatever the situation is.
So let me ask you this then. If you were, say you were going on a date, right? First date. But you already had a sneak peek of the future. And you seen that this woman was exactly who you want and exactly who you need in your life. I'm talking about exceeds your expectations, like the perfect woman. How would you come to that first date? What would you do?
same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing different.
Okay.
I would do the
anything
same
different.
thing.
Okay. Interesting. What's
Because
the
by
reason?
changing it, that could change the future.
Well, not necessarily. So I feel like some people reserve themselves more because they don't know how much they should pour into that woman.
Yeah. I mean, that does happen, but from a man's perspective, it's like,
It's like I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to say it.
exactly.
It's
That's
like
what I'm
you-
saying. It's like a feeling, so I don't want to say scared because it's not like you're actually scared. It's just more so like cautious, I guess. It's like, I know what I'm trying to be. I know what I'm trying to work to get to and be successful and things like that. So it's like, let me be cautious before I just. It's like swimming. If you can't swim, you're not just gonna dive head first into the deep end. You're gonna
Yeah, it has
walk
to
in,
be
get the
gradual.
toes wet. Yeah, you gotta kind of work your way and see if you can like get to a point where you can see if you can swim. That water get deep.
It has to be gradual because if you jump the gun too quick, it starts to raise almost not red flags, but red flags at the same time.
Like
You're doing too much too early.
I've heard girls say that though. I've heard a lot of girls say that.
Okay,
Like,
but the right girls or the wrong girls?
you got me there. You got me there. But it's crazy because I won't even. It's not. It's crazy because I don't want to say the wrong girls because it's like. I just think the majority of women are just like. I don't want to say brainwashed, but it's just bad. It's bad.
You know, it only takes one woman to get marriage right, though, right?
Oh my God, that's that's what I cannot wait to get married.
No, facts. We could just expedite this thing. That would be.
I cannot wait to get married.
But yeah, I don't know. Just something about you can't put
Too
all the
much?
cards on the table at once.
Because he just asked me, it's more so like, okay, you go on 1 or 2 dates and not necessarily pour your all into them, but it's like you're doing more than normal. Then you go out with her and a couple of her friends and you're like, this is who I'm pouring into.
Yeah, but that's when you are able to assess the dynamic of that relationship and know when it is okay to fall back.
But I will tell you this though, and most men don't. Men have feelings too, and a lot of men don't show it. But situations like that, or like breakups and things like that, a lot of men hurt. I would say like more than women. They just don't show it.
Oh yeah,
But
men are very emotional. They're just emotional internally.
yeah, and like we was explaining, like just getting the bare minimum and stuff like that. Like it don't take. When it comes to men, it's like we're very emotional on the inside, like you said. So it's if you really like this girl and went on 2 or 3 dates with her and really really like this girl, and then you go and see that could really like mess a man's head up. Like I really thought this was the one. So the next, I don't care who else I come across that I thought was the one. I'm not doing that again. I'm going to be reserved. It's more so you hear it all the time. Every man was changed by one heartbreak. It's always that one girl that made changed a boy to a man. Pretty much. It's like
Never again.
you don't ever want to feel that. That's not a good place to be.
So would you think that is good though? Because I feel like that's the same thing as like a lot of women's excuses as well when they're like, oh, my past, or my ex or my dad hurt me.
I feel like for men, I feel like I used to feel like it was good, but we got a lot of sensitive men nowadays that can't control themselves, so they act on their emotions. So I don't really think it's that good as far as like today's, because it's a lot of men that can't deal with it. It's like it's just bad. I hate this. I don't hate this generation, but we need men back.
100%.
There's a lot of boys and adult bodies running around here. We need men back.
That's true. Why do you think that is?
I'll get canceled. So.
Please. Who you gonna get canceled? Trolls with following two people?
I'll say one, social media, but I love my woman to death, but I feel like a lot of mothers made their sons the way that they are. It's like if most men that don't have a father figure, if not a father, they don't seem to turn out like the men that we're supposed to be. Like somebody steps on your shoe and you're about to go to and you want to.
I know, people killing each other
over
with
shoes.
Popeye's chicken sandwich, like
it's like
dumb.
crash dummies. What they call
Little
them.
But I feel like if we have more men, it's gonna be okay. Just like what's the term? Carry water, chop wood. Just keep the main thing. Just keep going. Don't every day not gonna be easy. Just keep going. But we got everybody that's for the moment. Well, I'm mad right now. Somebody gonna know. I'm upset right now.
The whole world going on.
Whole world
Let me
gonna
put
know.
this on my story.
Facts.
They soft.
Look, I need
Man, soft.
the world to know that I'm mad, and the first person that says something is going up, and it's like, we're men, buddy.
Doesn't make any sense. It's like the work, I feel like it's gone. It's the work. I feel like men are just super entitled right now. Like these niggas like super soft, like entitled.
They're super
like,
soft, bro.
Like I should be making X amount of money, but why? You don't do nothing.
You don't
work
do nothing,
towards
bro.
nothing.
Like,
You got.
I'm about to get, bro.
Like
I'm about to
he
get
said,
mad.
I'm
I
mad
hate this.
because my woman's doing this, that, and the third. She should be submissive. She should be this, that, and the third.
What are you doing?
What is she submitting to?
Yeah, what are you doing to make her?
You not holding her down.
You asking her for money.
You asking her for money. You drive her car. You drive her car.
The crib is in her name.
To
You
the same
moved in
job you
with
calling
her.
out at.
You moved in with her and mad that she has rules. It's her house. Maybe if she moved into your place, you might could.
And then it's excuses, it's entitlement. They feel like they deserve things that they not working for. That's the main part. Like the work is gone.
But that's why I say to a point, because a lot don't have like that man figure to like, you 3 years old. And I'm not gonna lie, I know I've seen it to where it's like, say a 3-year-old boy is crying or a 4-year-old boy is crying for no reason. His feelings are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
An uncle or a grandfather or something, boy, stop all that crying. He okay, let him cry.
Right. Yeah, I do see
Yeah,
that.
when he's 16 and 17 and you can't control him, don't call me because I'm not going to be able to say anything to him.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if you let the father be let the father. Or if it's not the father, whatever man figure, like let him. Because with women, that's why I feel like a lot of like, what is it? Like fighting and stuff like that. Like when there's like a lot of guys putting hands on women and stuff like that. I feel like that's honestly because it was no one. I don't feel like a woman can teach a young boy how to deal with his emotions.
Yeah.
Because he's not this is just not going to go right for him.
I was taught fish cannot teach a fisherman
How to fish.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hurt anyone's fit because it's not to hurt, but that's the truth. It's like if you're a woman, you can't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say you can't. You'll have a very hard time trying to get him to.
No, you can't. That's what two parents are for.
Yeah.
It's a balance. You need a leader and you need somebody who is more soft and more catered to the emotions. You need both to have a balance.
And that's the thing I don't like about today's, like, everybody makes it like a man versus woman. Like, well, men shouldn't do it. Women should, like, we don't like you. And it's like, we need each other. Like,
Right.
Facts.
your pros are my cons. My pros are your cons. So, like, stop.
100%. And I feel like one thing, kind of piggybacking off what you said, right? Like that. Let's say they did have that soft upbringing, but then at what point do we hold them accountable? At what age do we feel like they can make their own choices and that they need to be more self-aware and change and build themselves up to who they need to be? Because I know a lot of times things like that, when it comes to household environments, neighborhoods, things like that, people lean on those as a crutch. And
They
make
do.
a lot of excuses as to I'm like this because X, Y, and Z, so I'm never gonna have this much amount of money. He said I would start this business, but X, Y, Z, I would be this way and hit the gym every day, but I just don't have time because this, that, and the third.
Once you get 21 and older, the excuses should stop.
It's time to look in the mirror.
Yeah, it's time to look in the mirror. I wanted to say 18, but I wanted to be lenient because when he said like your environment, the way you were brought up, household, I tried to give him a little wiggle room with a couple extra years. But I do think 18. But just on the safe side, I would say, generally speaking, I would say at least 21. just because.
But even when it's like 18, we gotta understand as parents, like, we shouldn't base our like radar off of like how we think that how much grace should be given to our kids, because at the end of the day, like, once somebody over 18 does something illegal,
They going to jail.
yeah. So the world does not owe us any understanding, and kids need to know that from a very early age.
Oh well.
Realize I'm not suffering the consequences of my kids.
Right.
Well, me personally, if it was my kid, I'm teaching them all that like while they're young, like
Yeah,
bringing them
you
up.
got to.
But yeah, just generally speaking, I know most people probably wouldn't do that nowadays. But yeah, me personally, yeah, I'm trying to put my kids on game early.
Are you guys spoiling your daughters?
Yes, for sure. But I'm spoiling her. I'm spoiling her
man.
with. I'm
broke.
I'm
I'm
spoiling.
going broke,
Yeah, I'm
100%.
spoiling my daughter. But that's why I want to marry a woman that I would want my daughter to be, because I can spoil her, but it's your job to teach her how to be a woman. I can't teach her how to
iron
be a woman.
fist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll come in and be authority when need be, but generally speaking, I want my daughter to know like you have, like, you're my heart, so it's like you don't have nothing to worry about. But at the same time, I would want the mother to like if she was to get in, like if she was to come in the house late or something, and I'm not gonna be one sitting in the chair in the dark. It'll be the mother. I'm gonna be upstairs asleep. You deal with it.
I don't know. That shit might be me too. that might be me.
No, it's
I might gotta make a statement that day.
Wait. Let me change that. Depending on what happens, I'm saying, like, if she just went to a friend's house or something and came back after or something like that, yeah. But if she's like, "Oh, I'm going to a party," or "We're going to the mall," and you come, something like that, yeah, I'm sitting in the chair because I want to see who you pull up with. But just generally speaking, like, I just would want my wife to deal with the daughter, like, just like in general.
That definitely makes sense.
Because I feel like it's a balance. Like if
Same thing with the son is like vice versa.
Like if both of us are like, "Why you come in this late?" Like, I don't know. She's gonna go on the show, and that's when I feel like she'll start to get out of character.
Right.
But I feel like if she feels like, okay, mom's is always in another, then she coming into me, she can breathe a little bit. I want to be that safe space for my wife and my daughter. But as far as my son, I'm on his ass.
On his ass.
I'm on his ass. I'm on him.
I can't wait. I can't wait to have a son, bro.
Bro, it's gonna be. You know how I am. It's gonna get crazy with my son.
Oh man.
Have you guys ever had to leave a relationship with someone you were still in love with?
Yes.
Yep.
And what was their reasoning?
She no longer aligned with my purpose. Put it like this. I knew it was time to leave when I was kind of venting to her about pretty much everything that was going on. I was still trying to get this real estate business off the ground. And then when she told me maybe you should just give that up and focus on school, that's kind of like there was no other type of questions to be had. Like as soon as I heard that, I knew it was like a trigger for me. Like that probably hurt more than anything she's probably ever said or anyone else ever said. That's like, because I feel like that was always, she gave me the support I needed in those early steps when things were looking really rough. And then she kind of jumped ship on me, I felt. She kind of didn't believe that I was going to be able to do it, or was doubting me. And then there's already plenty doubt running around my mind or around friends. My mom wants me to get like a really good job instead of doing this self-employed thing, which she definitely pushed me to do it, but she just wants me to be, have something lined up or something ready to go. But I was all in on this. So then I feel like I lost that last leg of support. So then that's when I knew I was done.
So when she asked that, how far along were you on that journey? Was it like something that she was trying to be logical about, or was it something that is like it was already something in plan?
So you mean in the business journey?
Like with the real estate, you said she asked you a question. Like, do you think
I
it's
was
time?
probably, honestly, I was probably at rock bottom. Haven't done a deal yet. I got family stuff going on. I got credit cards maxed out trying to make it work.
Damn.
I had,
Yes, God.
I mean, it was really rough. I was really just trying to figure this whole thing out still, and I'm still in school.
Right. So
Business economics double major, so it's a crazy load, and I'm like failing 2 classes. Like I
Oh my
was really
gosh.
like I was down here for sure.
So do you think her asking that question was out of disbelief or out of love?
So to me, at that time, I thought it was 100% disbelief. But then once we had our time apart and everything, and I really thought about it, I couldn't be mad at her. Like I couldn't hold a grudge. I couldn't be mad because I understand what I was asking her to do. I was asking her to bet on something that looks like it's going to completely collapse any moment. I was really asking her to put in a lottery pick at the end of the day on me. So anyone in their right mind, logical person would be like, yo, nigga, you got too much going on. You need to tighten up. Yeah. But like, I wanted that. Like, I just wanted that person that was going to pretty much believe in me when all odds said this nigga's about to fail.
I told you. All it take is something small to make a man go from here to here. And all she had to say was, "I believe in you, baby." And he probably would have hit a deal the next day.
I mean, a couple months after that, closed my first deal. And that deal was like 15 grand total.
That's what I'm saying.
So I was like, yo, just imagine if I had someone for that fantasy story that came up through that craziness.
I got a question
Then
for you.
Okay, talk to me.
By her saying that, did that make you go harder?
Oh, 1,000%.
I knew it.
I was
See?
in the gym.
I knew it.
I was doing like 2 a days. That's probably the strongest I ever been. The most cut I ever looked. My diet was cool. You know what I'm saying? I was so focused. And like at this point, there's no other distraction. I just gotta win.
Yeah.
This is just for me.
I knew the answer, so that's why I asked it.
Oh, I was locked in more than I knew because that pain. For some reason, I move off of pain. Right.
Me too. I love it, bro.
It's
I
like-
love it, bro.
It's that kick. It's that fuel. When something drastic happens,
That's my drug.
shift.
That's my drug. I'm addicted to. I don't want to say pain, but it's like,
Uncomfortability.
yeah, it's like if
Yes, that discomfort.
can't
You have
even
to live
explain
on
it,
that
bro.
edge. You have to live on the edge to where I don't even know if I can do this or not. Because that's the only way you see what you're made of. You don't know how strong you are if you don't max out.
hello.
And when you do it, you have a strong chance of failing and that bar coming down on your neck. But
But-
if you don't do that, you would never know.
But when you do get it,
Jumping up and down, it's a celebration.
it's a whole nother. It's just like every time you, as a man, every time you accomplish something that wasn't easy, it's like, I don't know. It's like a most people. I don't want to say most people, but it's like when you achieve something, most people probably would think that like, okay, I got it. Yeah. No, it's like I got it. I need more. Like I need it. I need more.
You need more. You just move different. You think different. When you look in the mirror, you see a different
You
person.
can really see, like you can see it. You can see it.
And I think that's the part that people miss. I feel like everybody wants the easy route right now. They're super complacent, and I feel like nobody's really pushing themselves and putting in that work. Kind of how we were talking about.
Yeah.
They just expect it. If I do this, that, and the third,
I should
this
get
much
there.
money, I should get that deal. I should get this. I should be worthy of this much money. How? You obviously not. You don't have it. If you were that person, you would have had it by now. So you need to work on becoming that person.
Right.
I feel like as a man, when it comes to certain things, you just don't take no as an answer. And if you don't take no for an answer with with a lot of things that you want to do, you'll be surprised by how far you'll get. Most people get further than they thought they would from in the beginning.
Have to demand it.
You have
Or
to.
you're not going to get it.
Being consistent, sacrificing. It takes a lot to get where you want to go, but most people don't understand that. It's like a lot of things need to change in order for you to get to where you want to be, and a lot of people aren't comfortable with changing.
So what's the determination for if something just isn't for you and you need to try something new versus something you need to push hard on?
That's why I have people like him around me and things like that, because I have people around me that push me, push. But at the same time, it's more so like, that's when reality sets in. It's like, okay, bro, you've been trying to go to the NBA. You're 28.
Yeah.
I don't think that dream is gonna come true.
Yeah.
So it's more so like, if you have a good foundation around you, that's where I think like damn near. That's why I feel like almost everything goes wrong. Most people don't have a solid foundation that's like. So it's like somebody might tell you one thing and you're automatically gonna, oh, he's hating, or he's this, he that. But if you know your foundation is solid, he's telling me I might should go a different route because I'm 28. I'm not going to the NBA. It's just like, I might don't want to hear it, but I know my foundation wouldn't do or say anything to hurt or harm me. So I have to, and that goes back to thinking what people, caring what people think about you. I care what my foundation thinks about me because I'm a part of that foundation. So
Right.
if I'm walking down the middle of the street drunk, acting crazy, I can't be mad when somebody's looking at my mother like, yeah, your son's crazy. It's like, no, I did that. So I can't, most people don't know how to take that type of accountability. So
There's a wave of faith that kind of goes along with it as well. Because it gets to a point where you look kind of crazy. You can look super unreasonable, and I think that's necessary when you're trying to really achieve something that's over the top, a huge goal, extraordinary goal. Like, for instance, and me and my core friends, grew up together since we was like 5-6 years old. And then I went and took that journey on my first actual business journey when I was starting selling shoes and everything. COVID, I think, was the best thing that happened to me personally because it forced me to isolate from school, teammates, my friends. I was really just home. So then that's when when you're home with yourself, you kind of have that chance to really focus and kind of pretty much work on you, right? So I went towards the shoes, building that up, and then I went and pivoted into Amazon. And I had that similar thing. Should I focus on the shoes or should I move into Amazon? Which one should I do? But then when you grow as a person through all of this, through the different habits I was trying to build for myself, you think different. When you read, you think different. So then I was thinking scalability. I was like, okay, this shoe thing is very, very difficult to scale. But Amazon, I get that. I knew that I could scale that. I knew I could build that. So I got into it. And then it's like a blind faith because no one around me is doing that.
yeah.
No one around me is really like trying to come in, like help me do it. None of my friends built businesses, right? So I have to completely pivot from the things that I used to do, and I can't hang out as much. I'm trying to really, really push that unreasonable thinking. I have no reason to think I can do it. I just know I can do it. I can feel it. And then Amazon is going cool, it's building. And I get to a point where, you know what, real estate looks super interesting. When I do blow this thing up, blind faith, I knew I was going to do it. I said, I want to put this money into some property eventually. Let me just start learning the game. Bought a couple of real estate books. I started listening to podcasts, YouTube videos, and then I started going to a meetup. After that first networking meetup, I could feel it again. I said, no, this is for me. This fits me. This fits who I am. This fits. It's talking about scalability. Real estate is something you can scale. And the checks are different. And I know I could do that. I said, okay, bet. Let's go all into this. And then, once again, makes no sense if you really think about it. If you build up something great and then pivot into something completely new off blind faith, it's really unreasonable. But it's that faith. And then I just put the work in, faith and work put together. You'll win over time.
High risk, high reward.
High risk, high reward. So
That's simple.
I think you kind of just know when it's time to pivot. I think having consult around you is huge if you have that type of circle.
Yeah.
But then if you don't, you got to just believe in yourself and trust your instinct. That's kind of where I was moving from that.
Every man has that moment in their life where it's just like, whatever situation is going on, it doesn't even have to be that bad, but every man comes to a point where it's like, something has to change. It's like, I don't even know what has to change, but I cannot keep doing this. Like, something has to change. And I feel like that's when That's when you see what you're really made of. But a lot of people, not gonna lie, he's on me right now because a lot of people is kind of like on the fence with it. But if you're built for it, you also gotta be true to yourself. If you know you're not, if you don't know how to accept failure and keep going, it's a lot of things you probably just want to stay away from. But if you know, regardless if I fail, regardless if I almost make it, rather like it's like I'm just gonna keep going. You'll be okay.
Yeah, for sure. You almost have to seek out that failure.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta have to, or you're never gonna win. You're never gonna learn. You don't truly learn, and you can read all the books you want.
And I feel like you don't truly win until you fail.
Until you fail, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard to get to certain levels because nobody wants to fail. They be scared to fail. You're supposed to have that fear and do it anyway. That's the key. You're never gonna not be scared.
So I have a question for you. What's your ideal man?
What's my ideal man?
It's a great question.
My first conversation that I want with any man that I'm interested in is, what is your relationship like with God? What is your relationship with God? What is your relationship like with your family? What is your relationship like with your friends? I want to know who you were before you met me. And I want to know who you are today, not who I could potentially see you as. I have to understand, I want a big family. I want like 7, 8 kids. So, yeah. So, I really...
Overtime.
But I also know how a man operates. I know what he needs, and I know how to exceed those expectations. Now, I do understand that every man is unique in his own way, but to learn the art of learning how to cater to that specific man that you love is so, so important. Because once you got a man on lockdown, bro, it's over. Like, that man will do anything in the world for you. He will give you the world.
So I'll say...
That's a fact, though.
So my next question is, knowing what you want and listening to you talk and seeing videos and things, I don't want to say... What is your reason that you think you haven't found that man yet? Because generally speaking...
I have, actually.
Okay, I was going to say, because generally speaking...
So I will say this though. Wait, actually, to finish what I was saying earlier, I'll say a man, because I want such a big family, I need to know that he's a leader. Okay. I need to know that he is under the umbrella of God. I need him to know emotional intelligence, because he might be more logical than me, but he also has to understand that I, as a woman, does have emotions, even though I need to do my due diligence and learn how to direct that emotion. But to commit yourself to a woman that early in time shows me what he wants. And what I'm going to do with that information is, if I like this man and I believe he is a man worth pursuing, I'm going to triple that. Like, I'm a simp. Like, I am a simp. And I feel like a lot of women don't understand that it's okay to be a simp if it's reciprocated.
Yeah.
I'm going all in. Like, you could have the world. I don't know where anybody else is staying, but it's not going to be here.
Yeah. That's where most men go wrong, though. Just like you said, you're a simp if it's reciprocated. Most men forget that, like, how you got her is how you keep her. And just plain and simple like that. So if they just...
Yep. That is the thing about first impressions. The first impressions set the standard. And now you got to go above that after that.
And I've heard plenty of women say that, like if they're... I have a lot of, like, friends that are girls, just because, like, I have a lot of nieces and cousins that's, like, my age, so their friends are my friends. The amount of times I hear girls have a conversation or women have a conversation and they're trying to tell one friend, like, every time we're around you, you're saying something about this, that, and the third, and they're just like, why are you still with him? because like when we first got together, he was 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like, where's 1, 2, 3, 4 now? You're doing the 1, 2, 3, 4 for him, but is he doing it for you? And like, y'all just don't get it, and it's like you're holding on. You said something too a couple minutes ago. Potential keeps a lot of people in relationships that they do not need to be in. Potential. You're wasting time banking on potential. That's how I feel. It's one thing seeing it in someone, like, okay, that actually I can see, but just once again, like some women say, it's like, well, what he did in the beginning, I know he can be like that. No, he just acted a certain way to get in the door, because when most men understand, once we get in that door, it's hard for y'all to put us out.
Right. Especially if y'all could hit that reset button.
Hello. Hello.
Oh my goodness.
It's a lot of. I feel like a lot of the young women are gullible when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of men, they can treat you real bad and then just do that one thing, and it's like
solid take. As a woman, I need to present myself, and women need to present themselves as best as they can. And I'm not talking about the way that they dress and all of these things. Well, the way you dress definitely plays a part, but I'm talking about, like, you know, overdoing a lot of things, you know, makeup and hair and all of these things. They should be an enhancer, not what makes you. Like, you should not, like, take off everything and then have absolutely no substance, no value left as soon as you get in that bed.
it happens a lot. Like, even like when I go out with friends or something, you see it a lot. It'll be a group of girls half naked. They might look good, they might be pretty, they might be turned, they might be with it. It'll be like 1 or 2 girls at like anytime I go out, it's like 1 or 2 girls that you see. They're not dressed looking crazy, they're not, but it's like you can just see it. It's like
a vibe.
Yeah, it's like a vibe. Say I'm with friends, they might try to talk to 10 girls tonight. They see that one girl, nah, bro, you go talk to her. I can already see I ain't qualified. And it's like you ain't even try to go talk. But it's like, and that's another thing that women don't get. As a man,
they know.
We can see it.
They know.
We can see it without even talking to you. A girl can walk. I heard a woman. I keep saying, I apologize. I seen somebody say it though. It pretty much was like, a real woman shakes the room. Men will stop pulling their pants up. Men will stop cussing. Men will stop. It's just like the respect is different. If that's not happening with you in the room,
that's a bar.
I don't think you're that woman you think you are.
That's a bar. No, that's a bar.
I want to put Key on blast right now.
You're about to put me on blast right now?
Go ahead.
Please do.
The chat asked for it.
After this, it was actually so funny to me. Like, I remember Lawrence and I were in the kitchen, and we were I remember I was chopping something, but I remember you was cussing up a storm.
I did.
With Lawrence,
and
he was like, hey man, don't call me the N word, man. And he was like, man, I'm just like this. Da 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 da. I said, Key.
And what I do?
You need to stop cussing.
And I stopped cussing.
He said, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's the respect. It's when you can tell that a woman is worthy of respect. Well, everybody's worthy of respect, but I'm talking about, like, it's a different level of respect. It's like the way you carry yourself, the way every time we had a conversation, all the videos I see, you carry yourself like, I don't want to say top of the line because it's not like a bougie. It's just like it's just different. It's like I can't really put words to it. It's just like I'll say it like this. It's very easy to tell who's not a part of that, like, crowd. And I could tell instantly that you weren't part of that crowd. So instantly it's okay, when I'm around her, I'm not necessarily cleaning up my act, but it's more so like she deserves the respect because she actually, you do it yourself. So it's like, if you were to tell me, like, Key, you're why are you cussing like that? But then I get on Instagram and you're in a podcast dumping a cup on somebody. F you, I'm leaving, kicking over cameras. And be like, oh, she said something about cussing? Yeah. But every time I see you, it's like, you're like a light in every room you go in. So it's like, I can tell you're genuine and all that type of. So it's like, why would I not like respect that, or even like take your opinion into consideration? If she's saying the type of woman I want, if she's saying to not cuss, let me clean that up, and something might work in my favor. That might be what's stopping me from meeting the right person. They might hear me talking, and I'm not even realizing they hear me, and it's like, oh, I thought I wanted to talk to him, but now I don't.
That's a really admirable trait, though, being able to, for a man to sometimes put his pride aside and put his ego aside is really big, because a lot of people have very big egos.
When it comes to me, if I love you, and I'll do whatever it takes to keep you happy, as long as you're respecting me, and like, I guess you're doing your part. But yeah, so like, as long as you're doing your part, I'll like what I was telling you about the relationship. All my friends was like, Key, I did not think you could. This is like, it's like damn near not you. And I'm like, nah, it's me. Yes, I just never been in love. And when I love somebody, it's just
Different side of you comes up.
different side. Change a boy to a man. It's like, let me
Start moving different, walking
different. Everybody could tell. They like, Key, you a little different. Just let me be. I'm good. I'm great.
All right. I think our time is up. But
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
what is everybody's Instagram that they could find you at?
Keyshift3. KEYSHIFT 3.
Nico Suave TG, NIEKO SUAVE TG.
And that's it, guys. Thank you guys for
Thank
tuning
y'all.
in.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
I'll see you
y'all.
later.
Appreciate you, Sapphire.